Alright, I just want to show you a quick video, some improvements that have happened in the BridgeBuilder plugin script. Just paste the most recent version into here. I think it's probably already in there, but oh well. Just load up Maya. Okay, now that's it. Just quickly source the script. If you're not sure how to do this, check out my other video. Discuss how to source it and add it to a shelf. Okay. So basically some of the things that we've got here, version number is not correct, but that's just some of the text inside the file. Still got all these settings, such as the number of planks, set the length and such in these parameters. That's the length per plank, so obviously the bigger value is the wider setting. You might mess around with these, change the text here to say width and length as opposed to length and width. Some people might get confused. Or try and add a tool tip maybe. Okay, so let's just put some little features on here. Support rope height. So as you see, when you tick this box, it enables the support rope height. Let's just set that to something round like 250. Plank length, keep that about 120. I think it depends on your Maya unit setup. So obviously if you have it set to inches or something, then this might be, well, it will be a lot bigger bridge than if you did your unit setup in centimeters or millimeters, of course. So let's have some thin planks. One of the problems here is if the rope radius is more than half the plank height, then the rope will sort of overlap the planks. So that's something to work on. I'm thinking about putting a variable in here that affects the plank height. So if you have this over half of the height value, then it'll reset the plank height or won't let you up the rope radius further than that. Starting position, that's just XYZ world space. And the curvature. I've messed around with some more settings for adding the curve to it. It still adds it to the bridge, but afterwards it applies a lattice, and that's what the swing animation part's for. So say I want to swing for, I don't know, 100 frames, and it'll resize the timeline to fit that. Swing size, I've changed the limit on this, so it can only swing to 90 degrees, because if your bridge is swinging more than 90 degrees, then it's a bit unrealistic, of course. And the maximum you can set it to is 135. It won't let you type in anything past that. So set it to 135 if you really want, but we're going to keep it simple, so about 30 degrees. And animation length, that's what controls how long you want to set your time slider bar to. So let's just say it's the same length as the swing time for now. Yeah, all this looks okay. Number of planks 40. Then hit create. And here's the bridge. Still need to work on some little things, like the end posts are a bit deformed by it. Quite a bit. It tends to work better on a shallow bridge, so I'll just hide all except for the nerves and polygons and hit play. See, it swings more realistically. The base of the posts sort of stay in place. But as you can see, the posts are pretty high on this and they are tilting, which is something I'm going to be working on. And we see here, it doesn't go all the way there, so I'll just quickly try and fix that. if we go into here, it should still have them. I did fix this the other day, but I don't think I saved it. Down. Times 2. Yeah. So if we run this script instead, right, support rows, end post, 40 again, 46, doesn't really matter. Set all these values to similar ones that we had just then. 0.3, I think this was lower, that was higher, that was over here somewhere. They all look pretty similar to what we just had. Okay, and create the bridge. 5 to show that. Okay, and now if we hit play, see it does the full swing instead of just like swinging to one side. Okay, obviously you can't really tell much from the side views, but from the perspective view it's a lot better. Still going to work on getting these right, but I've thought about having a counter for the variables. Basically my lattice controls the swing rotation. So if that's in here somewhere, this line here, it picks a point on the lattice between the variable of plank number, which in this case was 46, and so between 2 and 46, so this point here and 46 plus 1, between them it selects all the lattice points. These just make sure it gets the whole range, and it rotates them instead, and makes it so it's a more realistic animation curve by setting the output of the curve tangent to flat. So in tangent, out tangent. And that's all the basic changes. I have another file as well where I was working on the GUI. I just quickly save this so it's the most recent one. So we're going to open scripts. I think it's number 2. Okay, just Control A, Control Enter to reopen that. You can see here it's not had. This doesn't have the updated swing animation settings for it, but it does have these. So if we just create the default bridge, which is pretty plain, just I don't know what you'd use that for, sort of like off a Takeshi's Castle level. And then we've got this button here to export the bridge. So it just brings up the export dialog. Choose your own file settings in that. And we have the restart button. Obviously self-explanatory, restarts the script. And the close button. More obvious, you know, they're color coded. And still working on trying to get the image there when you source the script. It seems to only put the image there if it's ran from inside here. So we can see a bit lower down. Here, this line. I'll do a bit more research, but if anyone knows how to make it so my image will load every time, then please do tell me. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thanks, guys.